What is up, everybody? It is Amir from Panelfly here, and today I got crazy hair because I didn't feel like doing my hair or putting on a hat. Also, I'm a little tired. I'm a little late on the video again. This is like my second week in a row being late on the video, but you know, life gets in the way. Like I said, I'm working on my graphic novel, and another thing I think I told you all in my last video, dude. I just got put on by Brandon Sanderson recently, and I'm listening to his audiobooks. I'm on Mistborn, on the second book, The Well of Ascension. Dude, Mistborn is fire, and it's like a Game of Thrones contender, bro. I am like hooked, bro. I'm listening to it at work. I'm like listening to it at the gym whenever I can. Dude, I'm like so addicted. It is crazy. If y'all don't know who Brandon Sanderson is, go read or listen to the audiobook of his books, Mistborn. And I know there's Stormlight, I believe is what it's called. I'm not on that yet. I think that's set like 3,000 years after Mistborn. But my goodness, is it fantastic. Like, world building is great, plot is great, and character development is like no other. I mean, like no other. Dude, literally, even the boring parts where it's only character development, no action, no nothing. It's like some of the best parts. And I am an action guy. I am like y'all know me. I cannot believe it. It is absolutely fantastic. I'm addicted. But anyways, with that being said, if you can, guys, if you can like do all the jazz helps me out. Would very much so appreciate it. Um, But I wanted to do a little reaction video of the last episode of Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Obviously, just kind of the aftermath. And it's more of a reaction video than a breakdown because there's not really a lot to break down. So I'm just kind of doing more of a reaction video. So yeah, with no further ado, let us get into it. And also I might do a breakdown of the Brandon Sanderson book or like Mistborn or like I don't know, maybe a reaction too, because I don't really have like content to bring up or anything. So I might just have to do kind of like give you a little plot analysis of it. We'll see, man. It is so good. Like, dude, I'm addicted to it right now. All right, let me share my screen. I saw in my last video. I don't know what happened, dude. My audio screwed up somehow. I'm not too sure how. Hopefully, my audio doesn't screw up for the video. I'm going to share the screen now. So we start off with Lionel and his maester looking over Dunk, who's quite literally at his lowest point. He's beat the hell up, and he's literally laying down on his tree. I don't get though how Dunk survived so many wounds and so many bad wounds. Like literally, it makes no sense. And I don't even think it was that bad in the book, so it's kind of weird. But they have a little funny moment where the Maester's like, "Oh, he has mortal wounds," because I mean, he really would have mortal wounds. And Lionel's just like, "Ah, you wouldn't know how to diagnose an itchy asshole or something like that." So it's just kind of a funny little moment. Um, so funny. Night of the Seven Kingdoms. This title, they do a little play at the end when the egg calls it a Night of the a Night of the Nine Kingdoms. But I think it really is Seven Kingdoms because I don't think the Iron Islands or the Crown Lands technically count as a kingdom. So it really is Seven Kingdoms, but they try to make it.
It's been a wonderful tournament.
And basically, Lionel tries to recruit him and say, "Come with me. I'll make you a landed knight, be a knight of my castle. I'll come to Storm's End, and wear the Baratheon sigil." And this isn't going to be the first offer that Dunk gets, which it's a little. I can't remember if this happened in the book. It's been so many years now. It might have though. I don't remember. Um, but it's like, dude, this was your goal, and you're gonna deny it all. Granted, I get it. Things have changed. A prince died for you, the heir to the throne. You were beat up, and two other knights died for you. So I get it, but it's like this is what you wanted. So I don't know why you would deny this, but you're not a very smart career move.
Yeah, we'll hunt and hawk and
And he's just going to say we're going to screw around. And he says there's a war coming, and obviously that's kind of a hint at the next Blackfire Rebellion. There's been one so far in the timeline. There's going to be 3 total. The next one will be the second Blackfire Rebellion, which I believe all the Blackfire Rebellions go on kind of during this Adventures of Dunk and Egg, except for the first one, essentially.
sail, make merry. I'll sharpen that on.
So basically, Dunk pretty much denies it, and Lionel's. It's also interesting. You know, he doesn't like the Targaryens, so he doesn't care. He thinks Prince Baelor is a sham or a fake because why did the gods strike him down and why did he die in the battle? Because he's a Targaryen, he's a fake, and kind of not who he says he is. And I think definitely Prince Baelor was actually good and kind-hearted, but there's kind of some it's interesting to see Lionel's perspective on it.
Harding Beesbury, the fucking apple boy, we fought for you.
And he's saying we fought for you too, dude. Um, and we didn't have Kingsguard that couldn't touch us. We actually had to get into battle and fight.
Your prince fought for you against men sworn to protect him. He risked nothing.
Yeah, it's actually very interesting. And if you don't know, obviously, The Adventures of Dunk and Egg, these are anthologies. So the only repeatable characters throughout the seasons and shows is going to be Dunk and Egg. In season 3, we might see a couple more Targaryens and see some recurring characters, maybe every now and then Maekar. But pretty much it's going to be a new cast every season besides Dunk and Egg.
To the Iron Throne.
And this is their burial. They're burning Prince Baelor.
Hand of King Daemon.
He was a great man.
And then basically Prince Baelor's son, Valar, is like, why the hell would the gods keep you and take my father, who's going to be a king and a great king? And it's interesting. And down the timeline, we might see why Dunk is kept alive. And obviously, it's no spoiler from Game of Thrones that Dunk is one of the most famous and best warriors ever in Westeros history. So there's that. And what's funny is I don't even know why, because he'll do some tourneys throughout his career, and he does become it's not really a spoiler who he becomes. I mean, honestly, it's kind of out there at this point. But I won't spoil it, I guess. So it's very interesting. He doesn't really fight in any wars. He does fight some battles. I think I don't think he fights in a Blackfire Rebellion too, so I'm not too sure. Maybe he does, but it's very interesting as to why in history he's regarded as such a great knight. And I mean, there is reasons why, and which is spoilery, but also nothing crazy. I don't know. It's interesting, but he definitely, don't get me wrong, he deserves it. And also, crazy thing about this episode, they confirm Dunk has never been knighted, which is new. The book leaves it up for ambiguity, and you really don't know. And the show flat out says it. He was never knighted. Wow.
He died in my armor. And leave you.
I get worried.
Oh,
Come from Baelor.
And then we have a fun moment with Raymond Fossaway, where he marries the whore overnight and somehow has a kid with her overnight. He's so stupid. He thinks she's pregnant. He thinks that's his kid because they screwed one time. It is so wild. Oh my God.
Funeral. 100 years and Lord Stephen.
This is pretty cool. So now he has his banners, which is a green apple, So that's his banners, and they even made the shield look like an apple. That's kind of cool. So the shield looks like an apple, and the the main house is actually a red apple. But his family, they're like cousins to the main family. I guess now they've officially branched off, or he just since he's a knight, got himself his sigil for his family's branch. Pretty cool.
So
And with all the
Look at
grace
this.
of one.
He married her overnight, guys, and thinks he had a kid with her overnight. It's pretty funny. And even Dunk's smart enough to be like, and Dunk's, he's no intelligent person, but even Dunk knows, like, bro, what? Come on, really? So they just have a funny moment. And then basically Prince Makor calls him in. And basically, he says, kind of like the Prince Baelor's son situation, Valor. He's like, why would the gods keep you and take him? And, basically Dunk says, you did strike the blow. You killed your brother, which he obviously didn't mean to. It was a battle. But he died for my cause, fighting for me. So I bear, half the ill will, if you will, I guess. And then he asked, like, what's the worst that would have happened? You would have lost an arm and a leg. And Dunk goes, yeah, I guess. He's like, but I wonder, do the gods want me to keep this leg for a reason? And it's funny because it does kind of play to his prophecy into his future, if you know his future, which I don't want to spoil, that maybe there is a reason why he needed to keep that leg and the gods favored him.
Cities, they change him for the better.
And then he basically goes on to say, look, man, Egg isn't going to squire for any other knight but you. I'll make you a landed knight, be a knight for House Targaryen. So now this dude literally, and that was like his dream goal, if he could, is be a knight for, why does my hair just get so messed up? Be a knight for House Targaryen. So he's been offered literally the two strongest houses in the realm, the Baratheons and the Targaryens, and he denies them both. Yeah, absolutely insane. It's like you starting a company and then you get like the bigger company in the industry to buy you out, and then you deny it. And because you've done like, you have some traction and you've done like maybe $1 million in revenue, which is nothing if you've ever started a business. And it's like, which you're getting a huge company to buy you out already. Take the buyout. Like, what?
The gods know it is a lie, but I will hear the whispers to the...
And he's also saying, like, I'm going to hear this for the end of my days. So people are going to call me a kin slayer, essentially.
day I die. You will hear them whisper as well.
So they kind of have this touchy moment.
every day, but even will come when I'll have need that foot on the...
Zer.
No.
And then basically, Egg was over listening to their conversation, and they talk for a second, and literally, Dunk is like, "Nah, dude, I'm done with princes. I ain't gonna squire you. You're not gonna be my squire." And then, kind of, Egg in like a brat moment says, "Oh, I guess you're not the knight I thought you were," and then just walks off.
Times. From where?
And so here's the revelation we get where basically Dunk is not a knight. He never got knighted.
It's to I'd leave you.
And then Sir Arlen tells a story about basically a knight or a warrior leaving his town, and the tradition is to basically put a penny in the big oak tree in the middle of his town, and you come back and you take that penny out because there's no space to put other pennies. And if you don't come back and take the penny out, that means you died in battle. And we get this moment at the end where Dunk basically puts a penny in this tree that he's been living under. And essentially, I don't know if it's supposed to show he's going to come back for it or if he just did it for Sir Arlen's tradition for his sake, essentially. And we have this little funny moment. He's telling the story, and then he acts like he died in the middle of the story. Like, what the hell is this show, man? It's definitely a little bit more comedic than the books, I'll say. Even though, again, it's a novella and it is like a small character drama, and it is comedic, but the show takes a little bit more over the top.
Sir.
Finishes a story.
How do they get the beast to swarm like?
And then basically we get another little moment with Raymond and Dunk.
That.
And basically Dunk sees Daron, which is the drunken knight, Egg's older brother. And they just kind of have a little conversation, but nothing crazy. And then here, I don't know, Egg's pent up right now. His emotions are flaring. He's no longer a squire. You know, all in the aftermath, he tries to go kill his brother Arion, but Maekar, their dad, is in the room, and essentially he stops because he sees him. But I don't think he was actually really going to kill him. So, boy, you ain't gonna kill nobody.
They've done to you, and you were right.
And everyone's kind of like giving him his condolences and like congratulating him a little bit, but also be like, you just got put in a shitty situation. This is Lord Ashford's daughter.
Your reply.
And basically Dunk is here again because he basically calls for Maekar's to see Maekar again, because what his proposal is, you know what, fine, I'll let Egg squire for me, but he needs to come out on the road for me and be a hedge knight squire, because that's where he's going to build character. That's who Dunk is. And also he thinks it'll be good for Egg to get him away from the Targaryen family, from the responsibilities of being a prince, and basically so he won't potentially be driven mad or crazy by a Targaryen. And if he's really wants to be a squire and a knight, then he shouldn't live like a prince. He should live like a squire and a knight, essentially. But Dunk's way, because Dunk's way is being a hedge knight.
Thanks. If you would consent, I would bring him on the road with me. He'll learn to squire.
And Maekar pretty much denies this because he just lost his brother. And he's like, you know, that is my son, and I want to hold him close, cherish him, because I just lost my brother. And so, no.
As I did. Sleeping in.
You cannot sleep in ditches and eat hard salt beef.
Yeah.
Daron never slept in a ditch. What are you doing here, girl?
We see Dunk backing up, and then basically Raymond brings Sweetfoot, which I kind of don't understand. I guess he sold him to his stables. I don't really know, but or maybe he bought it for him. But basically, Dunk denies Sweetfoot and says that's not his horse anymore because, you know, he tries to be a good guy.
I won't be going with Lionel.
What will you do then?
And basically, Raymond's asking, what will you do? And Honestly, Dunk has no idea.
What I should have done all along. Right hard in the other direction. It might suit her better.
This is where he puts the penny on the tree to honor Sir Arlen, essentially, because now his arc here has ended and it started with Sir Arlen. Dunk is leaving. He is taking off. But then...
Sir Duncan!
Sir Duncan! Egg, says my father, and he's lying, wants me to squire for you.
My lord father says I am to serve you.
He's lying. And Dunk accepts it right away. No denying it. Dunk is like, bet, let's go, dog. I miss you, my boy. And he just accepts it.
Serve you, sir. Chestnut's yours. Treat her kindly. And I don't want to find you on Thunder unless I put you there.
Aww.
Do you want to clout near?
Crownlands West.
And then basically this is where Egg is saying there's 9 kingdoms, which, again, I don't think the Crownlands or the Iron Islands technically count as a kingdom. So there's 7.
Westlands, Stormlands, Riverlands, the Avon.
And we get Sir Arlen leaving in memory with them. And we get a little end credit scene, which is basically Maekor saying, where the fuck is Egg? Because Egg lied. He just went off with Dunk. But he did not, Maekor did not approve.
Where the fuck is he?
Some people say a man is made out of mud.
Yes, sir. And that is it, man. What a beautiful, beautiful thing. Well, cool, guys. That is it for the first season of Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Man, it was a pretty good season, pretty good show. Obviously, you can't compare it to Game of Thrones or House of Dragons because it's not what it is. It's a totally different show. I liked it for what it is. You know, it's good. But with that being said, guys, I will need to figure out what some content to do now. I obviously do some comic stuff. Honestly, again, my biggest issue is I'm just doing nothing but writing my graphic novel, which, again, I will show y'all soon. Almost done with it. The graphic novel, not that one comic book I showed you. And then I might do a video on Mistborn because it's just so awesome, where I'll probably just talk about it, you know, and just tell you what I think about it and kind of go over the plot and characters and stuff like that. Man, dude, literally all I'm doing is work, gym when I can, which I need to be better at, graphic novel writing, and then Mistborn. Like, dude, that is it. It is insane. I'm not even really watching anything like that. So it's kind of wild. But anyways, guys, I hope you liked the video. I hope you liked the season. I made it myself. No, I'm just kidding. Again, I really enjoyed it for what it was. But with that, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully it's here pretty soon. You know, I'm trying to do at least like once a week. See if I can stick to that. I want to do more, but you know, it is what it is with the writing. But guys, if you can do all that jazz, please. Even if you hate me, just give me a like, just because it helps me. Please, 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 please comment. But with that, guys, I'll see you in the next one. And yeah, I'll see you then.